Thank you, Professor Jiang or Jiang. Um, I know people have a lot of different opinions about him. They think he's an agent, CIA, CCP, or blah blah blah. I don't really care about any of that. Um, I just wanted to say I mean we all kind of found his videos. If you know about him, all kind of found his videos around the same time. I started watching him in well, I knew about him in December, but I didn't start watching him until end of January, February. Um, when I saw the things in like the Epstein files and then following with the Iran war. Okay, first I'll talk about the Epstein files first, man. Like the day those dropped and the following like days and weeks, bro. Oh my, like my mental was just gone. And I did see a lot of like I guess some misinformation on Twitter, but I did look at a lot of like the actual files and a lot of them line up with like a lot of conspiracy theories, quote unquote conspiracy theories, and you can just go down the rabbit hole and like you can believe how much you want to believe, right? And I felt like my life was just forfeit and just I was just my life was completely meaningless from like looking at all that stuff. And I think I was yeah, so I felt really hopeless and devoid of meaning, and I was trying to understand more of the world in a way. And I found Professor Jiang's lectures on like secret history just to have some more of an understanding of the world. And obviously, like the whole obviously secret societies go way back, but it's not like a I guess it's not like a grand conspiracy that for like 2000 years or well, if you believe that, you know. I think it's just slightly interconnected. I think the last 200 so years are like yeah, there's like a playbook in my opinion, like the Freemasons, but anyways, I'm going off track, but I found this lectures on secret history and it was making things were making sense to me. Maybe too much sense because it's like a good story, but yeah, even though Professor Jang, he is kind of pessimistic, but nowadays a little more optimistic. I once I got to the lecture about like the spark of divinity and the spark of like Jesus and the I think the Gospel of Thomas, like that really like rung with me because I was never really into religion even as a kid, and my parents kind of tried to push it on me. Can never really get like to it, like into it. But the Gospel of Thomas and like the monad and the spark and being like try to be creative and love, it really kind of speaks to you like about the true message of Jesus, even though it's debatable, but loving each other, caring about people no matter what, that igniting that spark in yourself, you know, him talking about it gave me, I guess, I guess, hope. It gave me hope in life that like it's it's not over, you know. Even if you think like the worst scenario, like this billionaires and these evil societies control literally everything, which they don't. They move the world in their way. Like they don't control everything. Like even if you think like that, they control everything. You can still change the world by changing yourself, right? And because of these lectures, I finished The Secret History. I watched some other stuff, and then I had a new hope about life, and I sought to change myself again. And because of him, I started growing a garden. Now it's pretty decent now. I can harvest strawberries every day. You know, I'm trying to go more off grid eventually, but I am still part of the system, and I guess I'm gonna use the system to try to get more out of the system. Probably won't get out of it completely unless it collapses, if I'm trying to be like realistic. But yeah, I'm growing a garden. I'm trying. to be creative and I'm trying to live day by day. And I guess no matter what people think about Professor Jang, if they don't like his lectures and his predictions are garbage and blah blah blah. I honestly do like his history videos more than his predictions, I guess. But like, even if you think all the bad things about Professor Jang, I just want to thank him for, I guess, just giving me hope again in my life. So yeah, thank you, Professor Jang, and I hope to see more of your content. Thank you.